Who are the biggest South Asian personalities that have been mentioned in the Epstein files? We're about to find out. On January 30th, the U.S. Department of Justice released what it described as a major new tranche of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. The scale alone grabbed attention. According to the DOJ, this release added more than 3 million pages of material on top of earlier postings, bringing the total close to 3.5 million pages. It also included over 2,000 videos and roughly 180,000 images. So far, what has been released includes a limited but striking set of videos and photographs tied to Jeffrey Epstein's network. Among them are images of then U.S. Economic Council Director Larry Summers and a still photograph of former President Bill Clinton alongside Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. The materials also include multiple photos of former Trump advisor Steve Bannon with Epstein, images linking Bannon and filmmaker Woody Allen, and additional photographs showing Allen with Epstein and Larry Summers, including aboard a private jet. Other released stills feature Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, Richard Branson, and Epstein's attorney Alan Dershowitz. Separately, video and drone footage document Epstein's private island, Little St. James, including exterior views, the pool area, bedrooms, bathrooms, and interior living spaces. As with all releases, these materials show associations and environments, not proof of wrongdoing. At first glance, that sounds like explosive new information. But here's the reality. Volume does not equal clarity. The Justice Department says it initially identified more than 6 million pages of material as potentially responsive. That included emails, interview summaries, images, videos, and investigative records gathered across multiple investigations and prosecutions over more than 2 decades. The DOJ also acknowledged it over-collected, meaning the initial pool included extensive duplication and large amounts of material that ultimately turned out to be irrelevant. So with that context in mind, this video focuses on something very specific. South Asian or Indian origin public figures whose names have been reported as appearing in these newly released materials, and what those appearances actually look like. Before we get into any names, one point needs to be absolutely clear. Being mentioned in a file, an email, a contact list, or a scheduling thread is not proof of wrongdoing.
Any piece of evidence has to be confirmed. You can't assume it to be true, but there's suspicion, and that's how investigations work. If you start to see things that don't look normal, that seem to possibly lead to a path in which a crime has been committed.
Now with that in mind, let's get started. First off is Mira Nair. Mira Nair is the acclaimed filmmaker behind Salaam Bombay and Monsoon Wedding, and the mother of Zohran Mamdani, who was elected to be New York City's next mayor. Now here's what the reporting actually shows. Coverage tied to the January 30 DOJ release, including reporting by the Economic Times, describes a 2009 email written by Hollywood publicist Peggy Siegel. In that email, Siegel wrote to Jeffrey Epstein about an after-party connected to Nair's film Amelia. Nair's name appears on a list of attendees at an event reported to have taken place at Ghislaine Maxwell's New York townhouse. That's the key point. The reporting ties Nair's presence in the files to a mention in an email about a social event, not to any allegation of criminal behavior. The same reporting explicitly emphasizes that a name appearing in the document dump does not imply wrongdoing. Next is Deepak Chopra, the India-born author and wellness speaker who has been a prominent public figure in the United States for decades. According to reporting based on the released records, Chopra's name appears in connection with a brief email exchange from 2016. As summarized by the Times of India, Epstein forwarded Chopra a news link related to a withdrawn lawsuit. Chopra replied with a question seeking clarification about that withdrawal. U.S. local reporting also notes that earlier releases by the House Oversight Committee included an exchange where Chopra asked Epstein for information connected to a news item involving Donald Trump and Marla Maples. Third, Hardeep Singh Puri, a senior Indian politician who has served in major government roles. According to The Wire, newly released emails show multiple exchanges between Epstein and Puri. The reporting says those messages involve networking and business-facing themes, including discussions connected to initiatives such as Digital India, and suggest a greater degree of familiarity than some public statements had previously indicated. The same coverage also reports Puri's position, that he was advocating for India's digital initiatives. Political responses in India disputed any implication of impropriety. Once again, the distinction matters. What is documented in reporting is email correspondence, not findings of guilt. Before we close, it's important to address a wave of online allegations and speculation that follow the January 30th release of the Epstein files, particularly claims circulating on social media that additional South Asian figures were named or implicated in the emails. 3 names come up repeatedly online: Imran Khan, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Malala Yousafzai, Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. Let's be clear about what is claimed online and what is actually supported by reporting and primary sources. Starting with Imran Khan. In the days following the release, posts circulated on social media platforms claiming that Epstein documents referenced Imran Khan as a so-called London society figure. However, as of now, no mainstream or reputable news organization, including Reuters, the Associated Press, the BBC, or major US newspapers, has confirmed the presence of Imran Khan's name in the DOJ-released Epstein materials. These claims appear to originate from unverified social media posts, not from cited documents or indexed DOJ records. Without a document reference or confirmation from credible outlets, there is no substantiated evidence that Imran Khan appears in the Epstein emails. Next, Malala Yousafzai. Some online articles and posts have suggested that Epstein or his associates discussed supporting Malala or her foundation. But here again, there is a critical gap between allegation and evidence. No primary documents from the January 30th release have been cited to support these claims, and no major outlet has reported Malala's name appearing in the Epstein files themselves. In several cases, references trace back to opinionated or loosely sourced articles that do not link to DOJ documents or reproduce verifiable excerpts. As of now, there is no credible documentation showing Malala Yousafzai was referenced in the released Epstein records. Finally, Narendra Modi. This case is more nuanced and often misrepresented online. There is reporting from multiple outlets confirming that an Epstein email contains commentary referencing Modi's 2017 official visit to Israel. However, it's crucial to understand what that means. The reporting indicates that the email reflects Epstein's own commentary on a publicly known diplomatic event, not correspondence with Modi, not a meeting, and not any form of relationship. India's Ministry of External Affairs publicly dismissed the reference, describing it as the trashy ruminations of a convicted criminal, and emphasized that the visit was a formal state engagement with no connection to Epstein. No evidence has been reported showing direct contact, communication, or association between Modi and Epstein. So, to summarize, there is no verified reporting placing Imran Khan or Malala Yousafzai in the Epstein emails. Narendra Modi is referenced only indirectly in the context of a public diplomatic visit, with no indication of personal contact or involvement, and that reference has been officially rejected by the Indian government. This matters because the Epstein files are vast, messy, and often misleading when stripped of context. Online claims travel faster than verification, and names can be pulled into narratives without documentary support. As we've said throughout this video, mentions, commentary, or speculative references in these files do not indicate guilt in any way. So, what comes next?
I think the release is a step forward in terms of accountability, but there's a lot more to come. There still is an attempt to hide the truth, and I believe that members of Congress aren't going to stand for it. The way that we might come to see the truth will be through lawsuits, through using the legislation that was passed in order to ensure that the transparency and the truth come out.